Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Yesterday afternoon, Arundel County State's Attorney Ann Colt-Litis announced that Judge William Mulford sentenced Brandon Rybeck to 20 years in prison for 2 counts of negligent manslaughter. This all stems back to a September 2019 accident on Maryland 295 near the intersection of I-95 when Rybeck was driving his Chevrolet Silverado erratically down 295 and slammed into the rear of a car that was on the side of the road. The 2 elderly occupants in the car, Frances Manis, was pronounced dead at the scene, and her husband, Richard Manis, passed away at the Shock Trauma Center about 5 weeks later. Just prior to the accident, there were multiple 911 calls about a vehicle being driven erratically on 295. They indicated that the driver of the vehicle had his eyes closed and appeared to be asleep. When medics arrived on the scene, Rybeck was lethargic and disoriented and stated that he saw Oompa Loompas. He denied ingesting any drugs and stated that he only had 1 beer. However, the blood test results from the Shock Trauma Center showed that he was positive for fentanyl, benzodiazepine, and opiates. Judge Mulford sentenced him to 10 years for each of 3 charges and ordered them to run consecutively to one another and said that he was a menace to society and showed no remorse. Colt-Litis said Rybeck destroyed the lives of the Manis family when he decided to get behind the wheel of a vehicle while high on illegal drugs. The victim's 3 daughters and grandchildren were robbed of a future because of Rybeck's criminal actions. I hope the family continues to receive the necessary support and resources they need to heal from this unbearable tragedy. Arundel County Public Schools are putting out another fire. A lot of parents have expressed privacy concerns with teachers recording their classroom sessions. They stem from having their children being recorded and, to a lesser degree, their homes. To answer this, the school has given teachers now 3 different options. In classes where all of the students have permission from parents to be recorded, they can record the live sessions during each block. In classes where some students may not be permitted to be recorded, teachers will require all cameras and microphones to be turned off. And the final option, instead of teaching live, allows the teachers to pre-record lessons. School officials have said that the goal is to make sure that students who may not be able to attend the class or those who may need specific lessons reviewed have the resources to do so. Okay, get out your calendar and mark the date. December 12th from 6 to 8 p.m., it is the return of the Eastport Yacht Club Lights Parade. It is the signature event of the Christmas season, and again, it is sponsored by the Eastport office of Long & Foster Real Estate. For those that aren't aware, up to 40 boats of all shapes and sizes, power and sail, will all be decked out with lights and parade around Annapolis Harbor. It circles the waterfront in 2 fleets, one circling in front of Eastport, the City Dock, and the Naval Academy seawall. The other one will circle the length of Spa Creek inside the bridge, and then midway through they kind of switch so you can see them all. As I said, it'll be held on Saturday, December 12th from 6 to 8 p.m., and organizers do anticipate that the Lights Parade will go on this year. Changes to the route or other viewing accommodations may be made for COVID-19 safety, and they do say that only high winds will result in the cancellation. 20 to 30,000 people line the waterfront each year to watch this spectacle, and that indeed may be problematic for this event going off, but we will have to wait and see as we get closer to it. If you're interested in learning more, you want to go to eastportyc.org/lights-parade, where you can just go to eastportyc.org, and there will be a link on the front page to that. That has information for registrations. If you want to take your boat and decorate it and be a part of the parade, it'll have parade maps, parking information, best viewing sites, etc. And for those that are thinking about skippering a boat, the deadline is 5 p.m. on December 8th. Got some time for that, but put it in your calendar. It looks like the Double T Diner is going to be getting some competition shortly. Silver Diner, which is a Maryland-owned diner chain, is working their way through the permitting process with Anne Arundel County to bring their first full-service diner to Anne Arundel County. Okay, so they do have one in the B concourse at BWI, but I'm not counting that one. While it is still in the permitting phase, they are planning to demolish the existing Applebee's restaurant at the Annapolis Mall and replace it with a nearly 6,000-foot square diner. The Applebee's currently is still open. There is no date on when that may close. If you're interested in learning more about the project, the developers are going to host a virtual public meeting, because all meetings are virtual now at this point, on September 29th at 6:30 p.m. If you want to go to eyeonannapolis.net, you can search for Silver Diner. It'll bring up the article, and it does have all the Zoom codes you need to participate in that meeting. And finally, as we wrap it up, if you are in the market for some good photos of Annapolis, even better, they are free photos of Annapolis. Maybe you're looking for some photos to send to friends, or maybe you're a business that you want to highlight Annapolis or your business if there's a picture of it. Naptown Scoop, which is a new newsletter that's out, is building a library, and it is a great free resource, free to download and use as needed. So I would say thank you to the Naptown Scoop. What you want to do is go to naptownscoop.com/resources, and you'll see all the images there. That library is growing daily. You can also click on the home button there, go to naptownscoop.com, toss in your email address, and they're sending out a 3 times weekly newsletter, which has a bunch of links to local news, stories, and information, and I find it really quite interesting. So there's your tip for the day. All right, that does wrap it up for us this Wednesday. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day for updates to these stories and more. If you are someplace you can leave us a rating or a review, please do that. And make sure your friends, family, and colleagues all know how to get a hold of us, how to subscribe to us, and if they're feeling kind, give us a rating or a review. Other than that, hang tight. We've got George Young with your local DCMD VA weather standing by right after this quick message from Solar Energy Services.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMD VA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMD VA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMD VA weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, September 16th. Yesterday was fairly nice with cooler temps, low humidity, and light winds, but it wasn't the really nice day we had in mind with blue skies and brilliant sunshine, and that's because of all of the western wildfire smoke that filled the sky several thousand feet up to where it wasn't really an air quality issue, but it did generally create a hazy cap most of the day. And today could bring more of the same, with temps likely in the 70s, with hopefully a bit more sunshine before a chance of rain returns tomorrow in the PM hours as another cold front approaches the region, with rain chances sticking around into Friday before a beautiful weekend ahead with highs in the 65 to 70 degree range each day, with AM lows Saturday and Sunday in the mid-40s to mid-50s for our first real taste of fall conditions, with the expectation for similar sunny and cool conditions to last through at least Tuesday of next week. So make your plans now to get out and about this weekend, as it should be near perfect throughout the entire Mid-Atlantic region. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMD VA Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DCMD VA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and use our website each day at dcmdvaweather.com. so you can always stay weather informed.
The Anne Arundel Economic Development Corporation wants to remind you that amid this global coronavirus pandemic, we've got to band together and care for those around us. Support our community and the businesses that have worked so hard to safely reopen. So show some love for the shops selling the stuff that we can't get anywhere else, and the restaurants that sell food that's even better than home. And remember that the money that we spend here can keep Anne Arundel County strong. And by wearing masks and social distancing, we can keep workers safe and businesses open. So for our neighborhood, for our town, for our county, shop safe, shop local, shop Arundel Biz. Visit arundelbiz.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.